Good evening, this is Patrick Schmidt here from the Drinks Business. I'm in Sicily, in the Valley of the Temples in Agrigento, and I'm delighted to be joined by Filippo Bartolotta, who is our Italian correspondent and expert with Sicilian heritage. So, Filippo, first off, 2023 in Italy, what's the vintage been like?
Oh, you mean all over the country? That's a big country, but I'll try to summarize it. Southern Italy, particularly Abruzzo and Molise, saw a really difficult vintage because of downy mildew mainly. So anything around like even 50 to 70% of the harvest was compromised because of you have to imagine that for the first 8 months in Italy, all over Italy, but particularly south of Florence onward, it's been the same amount, 70% more rain than year 2022. And that meant a lot of humidity, and downy mildew has been extremely aggressive. So Abruzzo, Molise, and Sicily as well have been hit quite badly, which means less quantity. But overall, right now is the 2nd of October? Look at this. I mean, it's still a beautiful summer. For the next 15 days, it's going to be beautiful. So somehow, if you manage to bring grapes that were healthy to this day, you're going to have some good harvest. But otherwise, the quantity is totally compromised. Downy mildew would just basically dry the berries out, and then you're left with nothing.
So those berries that weren't affected are still producing or have the potential to produce a good quality wine?
Yeah, most of the areas that are usually like in canyons with a mountain and some wind exchange, wherever you have wind, downy mildew disappears. So there's an example in Sicily, anywhere you have a little bit on top of the mountain. Let me remind you that Sicily is the largest hill vineyards in Italy. 65% of the vineyard here is on the hillside and is the second mountain vineyard of Italy. So you have vineyards that go all the way up to, aside from the Mount Etna, you can reach 1,200 meters above the sea level. Even in the central Sicily, in Caltanissetta, you go to 700, 800, 900 meters. And over there, situation is way better because there is a lot of drainage and a lot of winds that stopped the downy mildew to affect the berries. The downy mildew arrived at the beginning during the flowering process, but also it's been a lot of rain. 8 months of constant rain.
And one last thing, Filippo, if you were to pick out the stars in terms of regions, areas of Italy for this year, what would they be?
Veneto, Piemonte, Valle d'Aosta have been steady. Actually, Veneto had a little bit of an increase, almost like a 1% more. So that means they worked well, and in the end, the climate was relatively good to these regions. So those areas have been pretty good. Alto Adige was looking at Peronospora at the beginning, but they managed to treat it pretty well. So it's been a hot vintage overall. So that, on the other end, it kind of like the funny story is that there was a lot of rain and then a lot of heat. So a lot of challenges across the board, way less production. So say that Italy went down from 50 to 44 million hectoliters. So France now is 45 and got the gold medal for quantity. But my thing is, who cares about quantity? So as I've seen the market prices of Italian wines has increased a bit, and the good price range Italian wines are doing well, and that's what we want. We want better wines. Everybody wants better wines.